I'm just like, God, Jesus, please fix this.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, yeah.
That is hilarious.
Absolutely.
Speaking of angels, do you have female angels and male angels, or does it not work that way?
You do have female and male angels. I've seen lots of female angels, and I see a lot of male angels, and I don't understand why people. Well, I do get why people say that there's no male or female because they use that verse that Jesus referenced that they'd be they're like their angels in heaven, neither male nor female, or neither marry, that kind of thing. But Jesus is referencing a devotion to him alone. That you have to think that during that time there was such hierarchy between men and women, you know, in the ancient history like that, that women were not seen as credible, as powerful. So Jesus is like, no, it will be like they'll be like the same and same in authority, and they'll be given to me in fullness of love. But we interpret that being like angels don't have gender, which clearly is it does some work that way.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
That I know the answer to, but I think it'd be good.
Oh yeah.
Do angels reproduce with each other, and if so, what's that look like?
We all experience it at some point. It's so important to me that I've actually been working on it in therapy. In fact,
I literally was thinking the same thing, but I was like, I don't know who wants to go there.
This is why we put a mic on Keith this time.
I'm looking at him like, it's not my time yet.
There you go. Hey, that's a valid.
If you don't feel that,
I mean, I'll say some because some of that.
Leave it to Keith to like strip Micah's trust of me.
I just about blast the doors out there.
Let me ask the secret questions. No, that's good. They do reproduce, and I started to realize that a few years ago. It's on YouTube now, but
oh boy.
A few years ago, where I was laying in my bed and having spending time with the Lord, worshiping Him and everything, just so people know I wasn't doing any New Age practices. Spending time with the Lord, worshiping Him, and I go up into the Spirit. I go up into the heavenly realms. I'm up into this sphere, this dome. I don't really know fully where it was, but there was an angel that came in. He was quite young, and I've seen younger looking angels. And he introduced himself to me, and he said, come on. He was saying, come on, just like a kid. Come on. It looked like he was probably 11 or something. Come on. And so we end up flying through, and I'm thinking, like, this is really interesting.
Was Eden with you? He kind of goes with
Eden. So Eden comes with me sometimes, not all the time, because if I'm leaving my body, he's there to watch it, to make sure nothing gets to it.
Okay.
So sometimes Eden will go with me, and a lot of times he'll be sitting there watching me to make sure nothing, because I've had most instances where I'm coming back to my body and there's demons there and Eden's there fighting to keep, and I can't get back in until he deals with that. That's always kind of fun. So I'm just kind of hovering, like, get him, Eden, you can do it. Go ahead.
Finish the story, but we're gonna double down on that.
Oh yes.
In a second, because we need to talk about the astral stuff.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh,
yes.
I'll bring us back to that.
Yes.
So you have this 11-year-old angel.
Yes. Yes, we should talk about that. So I am flying through the air, and then I said, where are we going? He said, we're going to my father's house. And I'm thinking, well, angels usually don't call God Father, because he's not their father. So I was like, that's weird. And so we go to this beautiful, it was like a cabin. And I noticed an angel came out of there that I had met before, Uriel. The angel with the fire, the eyes of fire, and deals with the luminaries and the stars.
He's in the Book of Enoch, isn't he?
Absolutely.
Yeah. He's a big dude.
Yeah, big time. One of the oldest of the angels. Angels are archangels are known for how old they are in the created order when they were made. Gabriel, Michael, Uriel, some of them were created first before the other ones, so they are seen as archangels. They have much more authority. They're much more old.
Was Lucifer an archangel, or was he?
He was a covering cherub, so he was old. So when they say that that angel is old, they don't mean age, they mean authority.
Wow.
So he's old. That means authority. Okay. So then Uriel comes out, and I said, your father? And he said, Uriel's my father. I'm his son. And I went, wait a minute, how does this work? And then he looked at me, he said, of course we reproduce. He said, we have to. He said, that's when I began to understand that angels isn't a name of a species, it's a job. It's like saying a title, I'm a doctor, you know? So when they take this, why there's angels that look different than the human looking ones. Like some of them can look like a tiger, some can look like that. Because what it means an action, it means an employment, a messenger. That's all it means, but it doesn't describe a species. It doesn't describe, and the spirit world is full of different kinds of species that are just from different realms. So it's odd. We're the odd ones that we think like, whoa, but they're like, oh, we get that. You're just a type of species. You're the best of them because you actually are made in the image of God. You know, so we're the weird ones because we're sitting here struggling, wondering if what's out there. And they're like, there's hundreds of King of Kings, Lord of Lords. So that's how I knew that angels were reproducing. And then Uriel looked at, I mean, he said, absolutely. He said, we're different than you. He said, but we love, we have the ability to create, we have the ability to dislike, we have the ability to have favorites. And I thought, wow, man, they're intelligent beings. And then he said, why is it so odd when in Genesis 6, when the angels came down to find the women and they found them attractive and they reproduced with them? He said, they have to have sexual parts. And I thought, well, of course. So why did that, you know? But that we're trained to, we need to read the Bible. And we need to read it for what it is and not dismiss things because we are uncomfortable with it.
It works both ways too, because the two angels in Sodom and Gomorrah,
Absolutely.
the humans were attracted to them. So, but that's abomination territory, correct? Like that's why, like Azazel and those guys were like judged. It's an abomination. Like you don't reproduce with
absolutely.
humans.
They got in trouble